everybody, welcome to Your Best Life with Izia. My name is Izia Habalajeloja, and here we talk faith, here we talk family, and here we talk fitness. And this particular video is actually like a combination of family and faith. I have different blogs where I talk about those three things: faith, family, fitness. And on my family blog, which is stayhomemoms.ng, I talk about 5 reasons why we should not copy people. Oh God, we should not copy people. And it's interesting because we have a cancel culture, but we also have a copy culture where, because it's working for somebody, you take it and you feel like, let me apply it to my life, and it doesn't work for you, and you're feeling bad, you're frustrated and all. So yeah, you want to check out that post which I'm linking down below, why you shouldn't copy. And on my faith blog, which is asiaha.com, I talk about 5 permissions you want to give yourself. Especially as you're an adult, you're an adult now, so there's some permissions you give yourself. And one of it is that permission to actually live your life without necessarily making it look like other people. Permission to go in a different direction. So far you're not sinning against God. You can actually build your life, not necessarily like any other person. So permission to just build a unique life, a life that is uniquely yours, that still accomplishes purpose, that doesn't go against the ways of God. Of course, to do that means that you don't get to copy, no matter how popular it is, you don't copy. Now in this video, we're just sort of continuing these conversations, and I'm going to share 5 times where I have copied rather foolishly or almost copied or started to copy, just different things that I have done that have been foolish that I've copied. And hopefully from my experiences, you can also learn and just don't make those mistakes too, right? Right. Okay, so number 1, deciding that a certain family member will come and live with us. So I had heard 2 women I really admire, 2 Nigerian women who, I really admire them, and they're like, hey, my sister-in-law lived with me for so many years and it was so good and she blessed me and she did this, and I'm like, I can do that. I can still do that. As I told my husband, babe, this should happen. And let's just say it didn't work out well. It just caused some attention, pressure, and it really wasn't good. I remember I had to go to my pastor and I'm like, hey, see what I did? And he said, no, that was not very wise. You don't know their season, you don't know their full story. And I talk about this in one of the blogs. You don't know the season, you don't know the full story, you don't know their lives. These particular women didn't have a life like mine, so they could afford for that particular family member to come and live with them permanently, but I didn't have to copy. I was foolish to copy it, so I had to, thankfully, it did not spoil so much, and I could quickly retrace my steps and change everything again. So that's 1. Please don't copy without knowing the full story. The second time where I have, almost copied, but thankfully God stopped me beforehand. So I had called this particular person I respect, who is like a higher level figure in my life. And at that period, I think I had just had my 2nd child. And life was just busy. My husband was around, but he wasn't helping so much around the house. And I realized to frustrate me. And I'm just a superwoman. I do everything. I'm like, let me do. So I don't think he really understood that I was drowning under the excess housework I was doing. So I remember talking to, and I thought he should just know, right? So I spoke to this particular person, and I respect her till today. And then she said, well, my husband is not domesticated at all, though. I don't even bother letting him do anything. I just know that it's for me to handle. I don't disturb him at all. And I remember I finished that phone call, and I just felt like, okay, maybe I should just leave him, he's not domesticated, and let me just do everything. And the Spirit told me, don't do it. Look at her life and look at your own. And the Spirit just opened up my eyes to see her life. And her life is not like my own. So while her husband didn't do domestic work, there were people who did it for them. They lived in this certain situation that allowed for people to come in and, serve them in that way. So he wasn't doing it. She wasn't doing it too. And they didn't have 2 babies. I had 2 kids. At that time, my first son was 2. God told me, the Holy Spirit told me, don't do it. There's this thing between God told me and the Holy Spirit told me. This one's the Holy Spirit. So we don't do it. Don't do it. I remember that I was supposed to clean the house, and the Holy Spirit told me, don't clean it, just leave it. And I didn't clean. My husband was like, this place is so dirty. I'm like, yep. I didn't say anything. But on his own, he just jumped into hell because I left that gap. I didn't just jump in to fill that gap. I didn't take what this person that I really respect had said to me. And I'm so thankful I did it, because from then till now, because sometimes you're blaming your husband. It's not your husband's fault. He doesn't know. And you're stepping and doing every other thing because, hey, his hand said, my husband doesn't do anything in the house. No, don't copy like so. You have to know the full story. You have to let the Holy Spirit especially lead you. Now, number 3, I remember I almost did it, but I stopped it. I was giving myself permission not to have too many visitors or people living with me after I had my baby. In Nigeria, and just generally, it's a really great thing, I would say. We do Omugwo, right? Where your mother and mother-in-law comes to stay with you after you have your baby for some time. It could be as long as 3 months. Oh my gosh, when I had my 2nd child, I had a C-section. My domestic help left around the time I came back from the hospital. But I had already made up my mind that I didn't want people in my house for too long. So my mom came to spend 2 weeks, and I'm like, you can go. My mother-in-law came to spend 2 weeks, and I'm like, you can go. I wanted to give myself permission to not do it how other people did it, how my sister did. My sister would have people in her house for so long. I couldn't do it. I just didn't feel like I could function. So even, yes, with C-section, without a help, I still knew I could run my home and run it well without people. So I actually sent everybody away, and it was just me. And it was so good that I did that, because I would have been so frustrated. I mean, Omugwo may work for you, but it just didn't work for me. I just knew I could handle my home without it. So you have permission. So you don't have to copy because everybody does it. You don't have to. If you can, then build the life that you want. You really don't have to copy. Still related to the whole copying thing, I also gave myself permission to not let people visit me. So you could come, and if you did not call me, you know how when you have a baby, just come. No, I would be at home and I'll lock the door, and you knock, and I won't come. I actually remember one time I was at my parents' house with my baby, and then someone came and the door. Because I didn't know that they were coming, and I was having headaches constantly as I had that baby. So for me to get down the stairs, go open the gate for them, I give myself permission. Like, no, don't come and visit me. Let me know. Can you come and visit me? No. You don't have to copy people. Just do you. Do what really works for you. So far you're not, sinning against God, and you're not, necessarily being cruel and wicked to people. But I think we really need to give people permission to build their lives without necessarily copying or judging them because they're not doing what everybody expects for them to do. Right, okay. And now the fourth one has to do with baby food. I remember that in winning my baby, my first son especially, we didn't have a lot of money, but just, trying to put life together. I wasn't working anymore. So I wasn't necessarily contributing to the income, right? So I now was in trying to not win my baby, I was introducing semi-solids. So I just went to the store, bought store-bought purees, store-made purees, these milks and baby food. They were just expensive, at least more expensive than we could afford. And I remember a friend of mine was like, why are you buying puree? You know puree now? Why are you buying puree? And I'm like, yeah, because people are giving their kids that. She's like, no, you can make a puree at home. And Ola, if you're watching, you are that friend. Ola is an older friend who's just so wise when it comes to parenting and all. And she's like, no, you can make a puree. And I remember how that wisdom from her just really saved me both time, it saved me money, it saved me stress and tension, because I'm like, I can't keep up with this thing. How many purees do I want to buy for this child? So sometimes as a new mom, a lot of things just feel like I have to do it. No, you don't have to copy. Some people can afford, they can buy cartons and cartons and cartons of puree, but and baby food and all that. So, and that was where, for me, the foundation started for feeding my kids from farm to table. I made a post on that. I'm going to share that below, and I think I did a video on that. So yes, I'm going to share that below. I just like from that time, I started feeding my children food that came from the farm, from my kitchen. As young as 6 months, I learned it. I had to start to learn it. And I believe that has really formed a great foundation to really leaving a better legacy for them when it comes to the diet. Not buying all the store-bought food just meant that we're eating more from the kitchen, eating more foods together as a family, as opposed to having baby food. And again, it saves you money. So again, I have this program called A Better Legacy, where I teach moms and train moms how to live a better legacy for their children, in their diet, in their lifestyle. And it's so key because honestly, it's becoming a pandemic where there's just a junk pandemic. Children are being fed and growing on junk food, and you don't want to be like that. I'm going to link that program down below. And you're probably seeing the flyer now because I want us to win when it comes to feeding. So yeah, that was a mistake I made. But thankfully I corrected it really early and I started to make my own baby food. And number 5, hashtag working mom. This is my major mistake. Oh god, so I had my baby and I had this particular chick on Instagram, then I was on Instagram, who had a baby at the same time as me, but she had a baby abroad. She comes back and then boom, she just jumps back into the workforce. She's a lawyer. And then she'll always put up hashtag working mom. You see how when she's going out, she's hugging her baby. She comes back, she meets her baby. She'll show pictures and this her baby's beautiful nursery. And I just always was so jealous and it's feeling so bad. I'm like, I want to get back to work. I want to work. I want to be a working mom. Then one day, the Holy Spirit opened my eyes to her life. I was unfairly comparing myself to her and trying to be like her, where number 1, she comes from this really rich family. Her father is a politician. I think her father is also rich. She had all of this retinue of aides and house keepers and everything, nannies. I didn't have all of that, so it was not a luxury I could afford of going back to work. She had all of these connections to, and I'm like, girl, oh gosh. I remember just being free from that comparison once Holy Spirit showed me, and I just had to really, I think I stopped following her or something. It was not her fault, it was actually mine. I was just blindly and foolishly copying. So my sisters, like I said, I have a whole blog on that. Don't copy people. You can build the life that you really love. Let the Holy Spirit lead you to build your own life. You don't have to copy others. So I hope this has been a blessing to you. If it has helped you, you want to share a comment. Which one really resonates with you? Which time have you copied? Don't let me be here by myself. I know that you guys have copied too. That didn't work out well. So at the times you have copied that didn't work out well. Which story can I resonate the most with? And if you really blessed you want to share with some other mom or some other woman who needs to know that comparison is a game of fools. You don't want to do that. You can build a uniquely beautiful best life with Jesus. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Like I said, I'm linking everything I talked about down below. Check them out so that you have a richer knowledge about this thing and we can apply it and we can truly live our best lives for Jesus. All right, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Bye.